A Powerball ticket lands a huge jackpot, Toys R Us is closing, and a historic landmark is uncovered. All that and more on this half hour of RTN News. Welcome back to a brand new episode of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Sean Kelly. Let's take a look at some local South Jersey news.
A South Jersey township is keeping drivers safe. Washington Township is partnering with Uber to give people free rides home in an attempt to save lives. 16 establishments donated money and will pick up the tab for people who have been drinking and need a ride. The ride, however, must begin at one of the 16 establishments and end in Washington Township. Other towns have used this program and has been a success so far.
Have you ever wanted to relive your senior prom? The residents of Shady Lane Nursing Home in Gloucester got that chance last week as they were thrown a senior prom by local students from Gloucester County Institute of Technology. Students from GCIT's Community Service Skills USA chapter created a Mardi Gras theme room, and residents entered and were given boutonnieres or a corsage and enjoyed hours of fun of dancing and laughter. The students embraced the seniors wearing prom attire as well and helped them create crafts and provide hair and nail services. The project was created for Skills USA by the American Spirit team.
20 GCIT students placed at a Future Business Leaders regional competition. The students placed in the top 8 regional events, which were held in December. Students were required to complete a 60-minute objective test and finished in 8th place. Many of those students competed again on March 8th and 9th and won in many different categories.
News out of Wildwood today. Firefighters rescued a 52-year-old man this past Thursday who got himself trapped in waist-deep mud as the tide was rising. Firefighters put on wetsuits and entered the muddy mess off the 500 block of West Rio Grande Avenue and secured the man with rope before attempting to pull him out. The man, who remains anonymous, was checked after and was not injured. The call for help was received at 2:55 p.m. Thursday afternoon, and authorities had the area cleared by 3:20 p.m.
Coming up, find out what events are happening across campus this week.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Welcome back to RTN News. Here is Derek with this week's entertainment.
Thanks, Victoria. Welcome back to Rowan. Check your calendars because we are halfway to the end of the semester. It is time to evaluate your goals. On the 21st at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. in Savitz 218, there will be a workshop as part of the Brown Paper Bag series titled Reestablishing Your Goals. This workshop will show students how to evaluate and reestablish your current goals to finish this semester strong. On March 22nd, the Edelman Planetarium is having an open house in their observatory. Observe the evening sky through telescopes and see what you find up there. Astronomy faculty and club members are on hand to operate the telescopes and guide visitors as they view objects in the night sky. The open houses are offered once a month, free and open to everyone. Some more science-related events. On the 24th at 7, the planetarium will be having a laser light show called Laser Beetles. Edelman Planetarium's laser light shows use a new state-of-the-art projection system from Laser Fantasy to treat the eyes and ears of the viewers to an experience of your favorite bands like none other. The event is open to all and tickets are $5. This week will be the first movie night since we all returned from spring break. The movie to kick off the rest of the semester is Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. This sequel to the original Jumanji stars Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart. Rather than a board game coming to life this time, 4 kids are sucked into a video game and must fend for themselves in the virtual world. As always, the screenings will be Tuesday night in the ballroom.
I love that movie, Derek.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.
It's so much deeper, than just the
Deeper,
game.
really?
It's so great. It's so like all the connections with the characters and everything works out. And The Rock's in it.
Well, I'm interested in it being that modern take on something that was a board game and now it's a video game.
You're gonna love it, Derek.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Rock's great.
All right.
Awesome. Coming up, find out 150 animals were rescued.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Then make your way down to see the Cape May ghost tracks before they are gone. The tracks, which were built in the early 20th century for mining purposes, first made their appearance during a storm in 2014. And more has been unearthed after the nor'easter swept in 2 weeks ago. The nearly century-old rails barely make appearances due to shore tides, but to residents they serve as a cool historical remembrance. Cape May resident and photographer Dave Callahan said about the tracks, quote, "This is a rarity. They don't stay surface for very long, so it's one of those things you need to check out while you can," unquote. Visitors can see the tracks on the shores of Higbee Beach at the tip of Cape Island, but make sure you do soon before this little piece of history is swept back under the sandy beaches.
Toys R Us is closing all its stores in the United States. More than 800 stores across the U.S. will be unoccupied after 70 years of business. 31,000 workers will be laid off. The retailer filed for bankruptcy in September, and the company has struggled to pay its loans. This will leave a chunk of its vacant real estate on the market, and future generations will never know what Toys R Us was. And now to Devon with What's Trending.
Thanks, Victoria. Greetings, everyone. Hope you guys had a great spring break. Now back to What's Trending. More flattened vehicles were pulled from the rubble of a collapsed Miami bridge early Saturday. 3 victims were discovered inside, part of the estimated death toll of 6. Though the number could increase as more vehicles were moved, Juan Perez, director of the Miami-Dade Police Department, said Saturday. 2 days before the bridge collapsed, an engineer from the firm that had designed the walkway left a voicemail with state transportation officials warning of the cracks inside the structure, officials said on Friday. Russian President Vladimir Putin, the country's longest-serving leader ever since former dictator Joseph Stalin, was far ahead in Sunday's election to win another 6-year term. According to incomplete returns, Putin's re-election was widely expected, and election officials had pushed hard for a strong turnout to claim an indisputable mandate. Putin has been president or prime minister since December 1999, making him the only leader of that generation Russians have ever known. Seems like Putin might not want to get out of office anytime soon. The Batman movie is set to start production in 2019, but might have a whole new spin. According to Heroic Hollywood, production is far away because Warner Bros. Has 3 other DC films set to shoot this year. Shazam is in production now. Wonder Woman 2 will begin next, followed by Joker Origin story movie. Here's the twist. Ben Affleck is rumored to appear in the upcoming Flash movie titled Flashpoint. The real question is if Affleck will continue to play as a Dark Crusader. There are reports that director Matt Reeves doesn't even want Affleck in the role, but suggested actor Jake Gyllenhaal Could there be a new Batman?
Could there? There could be.
Once again.
Once again, Devon. Do you have a favorite Batman?
I mean, I didn't mind Affleck, but I think Christian Bale did a whole lot better.
Did the best.
Yeah,
I like Adam West, the old
West.
Batman. The older guy was very good.
I didn't watch him so much, but.
Victoria, big Batman person?
I'm not, but they're all great.
That's
in their
good to
own
hear.
ways,
Well,
yeah.
we await that upcoming movie. Thanks, Devon.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, we will find out about a girl's recovery from a coyote attack.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Luck found its way into Pennsylvania last night as a single Powerball ticket won a jackpot worth $456.7 million. The ticket matched all 5 white balls in the Powerball to win the jackpot, which lands it at the 8th largest in Powerball history. 3 other tickets that were sold across the country in California, Missouri, and Texas matched all 5 white balls, but did not come close to adding the extra Powerball. The odds of winning Mega Millions are 1 in 24, but hitting the jackpot is just 1 in 302 million. The exact location in Pennsylvania where the ticket was purchased remains unknown, as well as the person who bought it.
150 animals were rescued in Thurston County in Washington. The animals were living in horrific conditions. Some were lying dead on the property. The animals were removed from the backyard farm on Sunday and are being taken care of by Animal Services. Volunteers at Hooved Animal Rescue are working to nurse all the animals back to health.
A New York City ferry captain who helped in evacuating hundreds from the September 11th attacks has passed away at age 45. Thomas Felon succumbed last evening to cancer linked to toxic dust and smoke that came from the site of the World Trade Center attack. He is not the only one to fall to these complications, as the Uniformed Firefighters Association of Greater New York says more than 170 firefighters have died as the result of illnesses related to the attacks. Felon was captaining a Statue of Liberty ferry when he responded and helped in the evacuation of Lower Manhattan, as well as aiding the fire department in their rescue efforts. Many who know him praise him as a hero, while Mayor Bill de Blasio states, quote, "In our city's darkest hour, FDNY firefighter Thomas Felon's heroism saved hundreds of lives. We will never forget his service and his sacrifice."
A 9-year-old girl is recovering from a coyote attack. Madeline Fowler was attacked by a coyote outside her home in Davie County, North Carolina. The animal got away, but they are known to be a problem in the area. The family has lost many pets to coyotes in the past. The girl suffers serious bruises and has received 9 rabies shots, but is expected to be okay. Now here's Derek with your Rowan Sports Update.
Thanks, Victoria. While the rest of us were enjoying doing nothing over our spring break, the Rowan sports teams had to keep working to keep their teams in the playoff hunt. Let's get into the action that occurred over the short break. The women's lacrosse team had their home opener on Thursday, taking on Skidmore College. 3 players for the Profs scored 4 goals each. They included Maddie Bray, Kim Doyle, and Nicole Mickendrow. Skidmore was initially ahead in the first half with a 3-2 lead. However, the Profs would go on a 4-goal run. This allowed them to take the lead, one that they would protect throughout the rest of the contest. The Profs' 17-10 win helps them to improve to 3-1 on the season heading into their next game this Wednesday. After competing earlier in the day against SUNY Plattsburgh in a 9-1 win, the softball team played a second game against Utica College. Third baseman Cassandra Gerard had 3 hits as well as 4 RBIs. One of her hits was a 2 RBI triple in the first inning. Kelly Duffy pitched for 4 innings, giving up the only 2 runs in the contest on 3 hits. The Profs would win 11-2, improving to 13-3 on the season. The team is scheduled to make its home opener on Wednesday against Newman University. The men's track and field team competed in the Allen County Shamrock Invitational over the weekend. Bobby Cooks earned 2nd place in the 110-meter hurdles with a time of 14.24 seconds. Chris Mezziano claimed 2nd place in the 400-meter race, with Anthony Salimo right behind him in 3rd. The 400-meter relay team of Mezziano, Hunter Barbieri, Justin Bishop, and Francis Terry earned 3rd place with a time of 3 minutes, 21.02 seconds. On Saturday, the baseball team competed in their final game of the Russ Matt Central Florida Invitational against Hamilton College. The Profs had a field day on offense, specifically in the 3rd inning when they tallied 9 runs. The offensive advantage would lead to a 15-hit performance from the team, led by Dylan Mendel, who came away with 3 hits and a team-high 3 RBIs. Pitcher Danny Sereno pitched 5 no-hit innings, tallying 10 strikeouts. The Profs would win 12-1 and improve to an impressive 11-1 on the season.
That's good. That's a pretty considerable lead.
Yeah, 11-1 is a pretty good record for them.
I would.
Not a lot was expected of them heading into this season, and 10 strikeout performance.
Good.
They're looking really good.
Great for them. I could never do that.
It
I was
good
not a
end.
big baseball star.
Yeah.
But I'm proud that the Profs are living it on.
Well, the Profs are doing it for you, Sean.
Thanks, Derek.
We had no problem.
And that's all for this week's edition of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Sean Kelly. Have a great week, Rowan University.
Credits, banter.
So tight.